everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you found your way here. I hope you click like, subscribe, and share, and that you drop a comment in the comment section below this video. So let's get in on this video. This is going to be on your week ahead from April 22nd to April 28th, and it's 30th actually, 30th, I believe. Yeah. And it's going to be also on the full moon in Scorpio happening the 23rd to 24th, depending on where you are. So let's dive right into the collective read. Wait, I do have an offer for you. I am hosting a mediumship group. So if you are interested in mediumship, in channeling, in receiving messages, and also exploring exercises to see if these gifts and abilities are part of your makeup too, then join me May 4th and join us actually May 4th. You'll find the link to that to sign up in the description box below this video. Okay, so let's get started. And we're just going to have a look at the collective reading, the collective energies that are coming up for the week ahead and influenced by this full moon in Scorpio. Now, I know that a lot of people are always overhyping Scorpio to the point where it's like, this fear energy is built around anything that happens in Scorpio. And it's almost to the point of the death card or the tower card in the tarot or anything to do with Pluto or Saturn. It always seems to go in with a lot of fear. And I'm not picking that up for this full moon in Scorpio. Sorry, you guys. What I am picking up is quiet. And the kind of quiet that I'm picking up is that moment of transformation, that moment of transitioning. For example, the period of time that the butterfly is in the cocoon, it's almost as if the disease was recognized in Virgo, balance was brought in Libra, and now in Scorpio, everything's just quiet. And in that quietness, in that silence, if you can stick with it, hold it, where nothing really happens, it's not blocked, there's no blockage. It's not, it's just standing still. And if we can get through that, and then in Sagittarius, things start moving again. So it really feels as if this is a moment where, yes, truth comes to light, but I don't feel it's going to be a negative truth or in a harsh way. It's just, oh, this was at what's at the bottom, and it's being recognized, taken out, shifted, and there's a moment where everything is just quiet. And I'm feeling that quietness with this full moon in Scorpio. So let's have a look what the collective read is on the week ahead, the influence of the full moon, please. On the week ahead and the influence of the full moon. On the week ahead, the influence of the full moon. Week ahead and influence of the full moon in the collective. The overall energy is tiredness. Okay, so there is an energy of tiredness in the collective, and the Nine of Wands of feeling blocked, feeling overwhelmed, feeling overburdened, feeling tired, feeling like, actually this should be springtime and I should be diving into this new life, this new world, this new realm with joy, happiness, fun, but people are feeling tired. And the other cards that are coming up are the Nine of Pentacles. So feeling like, this is going it alone in the world kind of thing. Temperance, there's that quiet moment, that balance that was coming in. And the Three of Wands, looking forward. This is exactly the energy that I'm picking up around this full moon in Scorpio, is being able to sit and I wouldn't say count your blessings, but just sit in your blessings for a moment. And but also sit in truth, sit in what is, sit in the reality, sit in an experience, sit in an emotion for a moment. And it's not a stewing, there's nothing bubbling. It's just a moment, right? So I do feel as if there is this feeling of it's time to restock. It's a moment that's given to you or to us, to the collective, to actually, if we would do this right as a collective, to focus on what is working, what is good, what is happening, what is coming together, what is shifting, what is uplifting, what is ascending, what is transcending, what is expanding, what is loving. And because that energy is very much here as well, and very much working through the world as well. And we tend to focus on what's not working, the next catastrophe, the next thing that's coming to hit us. And that's not really the truth. We have to bring things in balance again. And I feel like the full moon in Scorpio is really giving us the opportunity to do that. And once we're able to do that, the wands work out. We stop defending, right? So we start off with the 10 of wands, the collective, and the 9 of wands, feeling very defensive, overwhelmed, overburdened. But if we're able to really look at what is actually happening, we all of a sudden develop the 3 of wands, a positive outlook, a hopeful outlook, an optimistic outlook, an outlook that transcends, right? And we're seeing that things are actually coming more and more together with the Temperance and the 9 of Pentacles. Now, I know a lot of people are tired of this world. I do get that. And they want the crash. They want things to fall apart. They want things to break down. They want that dramatic ending so that they can feel some sense of closure, possibly some sense of justice or justification. A deep desire to have a vengeful God is somewhere in there. So it's but that's not what I'm seeing coming up. I'm seeing a slow unfoldment over time, and of course it's rapid in the grand scheme of things, but it's slow unfolding into something different. It's always been that way throughout time. Cultures have changed, tradition have changed, boundaries of countries have changed. Everything that we think today is stable and solid might not be in 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years time. And we're living our lives according to those stories, though, as of these stories are going to last eternally when nothing on this planet has lasted eternally. Most countries that we know of in this shape that they're in, or collectives or traditions, have been the last 100, 200 years, right? Those specific boundaries, those specific definitions and delineations. So I'm feeling like we're moving through that kind of transition as well, obviously. And we're moving into something else and other, but it's not necessarily going to be going in with energies of a catastrophe or things of that nature, even though there is this buildup in energy. But as we mature, right, we learn how to disseminate that energy. We learn what to do with that energy, how to utilize that energy to create something more magnificent, to where to direct our energy instead of into destruction and catastrophe, right? So it's a maturation process of the collective. And I feel like coming back to this full moon, it's actually a softer one. Even though the alignments and of the full moon, I believe, as far as I recollect, it would indicate to some kind of intensification or power struggle. But I do believe as well, coming from a certain mindset or level of frequency, level of mind, and I do feel that collectively humanity has advanced, even though we're not, really seeing it in that sense, because we're seeing ourselves as we are, and we're still seeing our flaws and foibles. But if we look back to how humanity was 20, 30, 40, 50, 80 years ago, which is nothing on the timeline, nothing in the scheme of things, we've made another huge leap forward. That has happened. And the leap forward, I would wager to say, is greater than the leap forward during the Industrial Revolution. So I do feel that this, even though it's opening the possibility, because whenever these energies come into our lives, they bring us to a crossroads in a sense and opens up possibilities. Do you want to go low or do you want to go high? Do you want, sorry, other way around, do you want to go low or do you want to go high? All right. And so it's up to us. Which experience are we calling in as a collective? Which story are we going to continue telling ourselves? Which storyline are we going to continue to follow? And I'm starting to see that the timelines that we speak about, they're not just time lines, they're actually storylines. They're lines of stories that we unfold along. So that being said, I'm picking up a somewhat softer energy. Now, those that stand or resist the truth or the healing that is coming out and up through such energies such as the full moon in Scorpio, they may feel the energies as being harsh. Yes, they may feel a certain harshness in the quality. They may feel a certain because they're resisting the unfoldment, they're resisting the change. And this is a slow, steady expansion. There is no stopping it. There's no, but if you resist it, then yeah, it will be a grinding type of energy. So let's go into the energies of resistance really briefly, and maybe you can look at whatever it is that you're resisting in your life as well. And this is a great time with the full moon in Scorpio to release those resistances, right? To allow the Scorpio energy to break it down, to dissolve it. So the resistance energies come in specifically with the collective, a lot around, oh gosh, here we are again. Here we are again. There is a real concern in the systems around this planet regarding finances, goods, material exchanges, resources. Who has what resources and how to access those. So we might be hearing about shifts and changes when it comes to resource access and management. And what I mean by that, okay, we have the Eight of Coins, which would indicate to me contracts, agreements, work, labor, hard physical labor as well, such as mines, things of that nature. Then we have the Ten of Wands, again, the hard physical labor, emphasizing. So I'm thinking mines, I'm thinking, resources, getting resources out of the earth. And we have the Seven of Cups, again, options, material goods, wins, things of that nature that are actually, they are image illusions, Maya, right? So it feels as if there's issues coming up around that. And we've already heard and seen that in the news. Africa, for example, Russia is really doing a lot of work around and in Africa to bring a kind of a an alliance or an agreement or a partnership there with many countries in Africa. Africa is now moving forward. Many countries, especially the wealthier ones, are stating that they are no longer willing to subject themselves to colonialist agreements or colonialist way of going about things that they did subject themselves to in the past, creating all this wealth for others and other countries and yet remaining in poverty themselves. So they're saying that the line has been drawn, like we're going this far and no further, like we're not going to continue down this pathway. And this has become a more and more a topic, but out of Africa, a lot of our resources are being resourced coming out of. So we're going to see like these changes moving forward when it comes to situations like that this is going to continue to unfold, that there's going to be more balance and equality brought into the world, more topics around equality, but also an equality in perception of peoples, right? So it's no longer going to be that there's something well, no, it's not that there's no longer going to be, but topics are going to come up around that, the perception of peoples, the perception of wealth, who's wealthy, what wealth entails, generational wealth, subhumans, things of that nature, right? Might be coming up subtly. I wouldn't say it's going to be a major topic, but what is a major topic are finances. Okay, so I'm just looking for the and that keeps coming up for me, you guys. Like I said, these next years, there are going to be some massive shifts and changes in the economy, how we do money, okay? And they're throwing it at us a little bit by little bit by little bit, but it's this was the balance that was coming out in the beginning, right? So there's a balancing coming in around these kind of these or beginning to come in. It's beginning. The full balancing will take decades, obviously. And for the total balance and total fairness and equality, still hundreds of years. So there was a rumor going around in certain networks that, the cryptocurrencies that we currently follow eagerly and participate in. By the way, as a side note, if you would like to pay me in crypto, I have the abilities. So just send me an email. We'll set up your session and I'll send you my address. But they're saying that these cryptos are government setups or being allowed by government as one huge massive experiment, how a one world currency or a general currency might work, or how a cryptocurrency might work. And that when the time comes for them to release their own currencies, they're going to pull the plug basically on this, and that all of them are in on it and only the people aren't. But when they pull the plug, everybody will lose everything that they invested in. Is that going to happen? Let's just pull a card. But as part of the, I feel like there's more information coming out around that. Obviously, this is going to go on for years and years, so I don't think anybody has to worry. But let's see here. Three of Swords is the card as to when I was thinking about what's the outcome of this with cryptocurrencies, and Three of Swords is a disappointment. So this is something looking out over the next years, not now or this year or anything like that. So don't worry, don't be afraid, but keep an eye on, certain informations just so you're aware of what's being said. Okay. So yeah, that's the collective energy. So I do feel, like I said, a very soft energy collectively. However, if we resist as a collective or go into the resistance of this moment of silence, this moment of peace, this moment of transformation where something shifts within us again, and we're all getting tired of these shifts, but there's so many more to come. So strap up, strap in. But as this shifts again, where we're able to allow ourselves to be pushed or blown or rolled forward by life. So it's a good time to develop faith in life again. Okay, a good time to develop faith in life and to try not to overthink things, try not to overfeel things, just to allow things to unfold. Okay, so let's dive in, and you can choose a number from 1 through to 4. I'm hearing 4. And we'll have a look at what your more personal message is for the week ahead. If you would like to book a personal session with me, you guys know that in the description box, you'll find new links to where I can be found. And you can connect with me on most of them and book your session. Okay. All right. So let's dive in with your choice. Choose a number from 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you need to pause the video here, don't hesitate. And of course, let's get started. Let's get started. With pile number 1. Pile number 1, what's coming up for you this week? The overall energies pile number 1 is the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles. So I do, and the 9 of Wands. Okay. So the 4 of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands is coming up. There's something around budgeting your money, taking care of your money, but also bills, that kind of thing, agencies, you name it, dealing with all of this. It's not necessarily a negative thing. What I'm really feeling is that this feeling the need to guard your value, guard your valuables, guard yourself. And this need to also protect yourself. This could also be, protecting your self-esteem, your self-worth, protecting something that you value, holding on to things that you value, not wanting to lose. There's a lot of energy around that. We've got the Queen of Swords and the 4 of Wands. So some of you may be feeling not up to the weather this week. Usually you're someone who's really energetic, highly motivated, but this may be a week where you need to take a break, lay low, take care of yourself physically as well. There may be something coming up for you in that area. What else? You're not going to, this is not a week of exploration and adventure for you, number 1. Don't take any undue risks. This is not the week to step off that cliff and fly and trust and let yourself fall in that sense. You really have to take things slow this week and protect yourself. You've got the lovers coming up. So there's an energy coming in at you this week. This may be a desire for a contract for some of you, that someone's really wanting to connect with you in a work way or sign a contract with you, an agreement with you. But it could also be that there's an opportunity for love that's coming in for you this week. It might be an opportunity this week for you to really connect with someone on a very deep level. There's someone who sees you as valuable. There's someone who sees you as desirable and who really wants to hold on to you. So there might be jealousies as well that come up this week. You may be dealing with someone who's very jealous, or you may be experiencing these emotions of jealousy yourself, but there's a desire to hold on to someone or something. Someone feels like you're the one, or you feel like they're the one, and it's very, yeah. Okay, so the outcome is the Wheel of Fortune, and this is a good thing. This is an awesome energy, is that things move forward from here. And your advice card is Death, which is starting a new chapter. Okay. Your advice card is to transform. This is literally Scorpio. You may be dealing with someone who is Scorpio, in Scorpio energy, but it feels by the end of the week, things will start moving forward again. This might be a fated connection for you as well. Someone who you were meant to meet, someone who you were meant to get to know. This may also be someone that you work with. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it could be, okay? So for pile number one, what I'm really picking up for you this week is that this is a week where it feels like you need to take care of yourself. You need to take things slower. You need to slow things down. Don't rush yourself through the week. Take moments to breathe. Take moments to ground. Do good things for yourself. Do good things for your physical body as well. It may be that it's been a while for romantic connections. You may have been single for a moment. But something new is coming into your life. There's someone showing up for you who's very invested in you, who sees you as the prize, who sees you as the one. Now, I'm not quite picking up that you see it the same way, because there is a defensiveness and a little bit of a defensive energy here. But if you do see them the same way, then we're dealing also with jealousy energies this week. So once again, these energies come into our realm and into our lives so that we level up through them. They're not our enemies, they're our teachers. So if you are feeling jealous, if you are feeling envious, if you are feeling like out of control with a certain relationship, this is a cue to you that because emotions are always for what's going on inside of you. They're messengers for you. They're not messengers for other people, for them to change their behaviors. They're messages for you to change your perspective, your alignment, your perception, and by extension of all that, your behavior. So this is an opportunity for you to level up. Don't see it as your enemy. Say, welcome, my friend. And thank you for showing me that you're here, because that way I know this is the work that I need to do. So it does feel, again, a romantic relationship that somehow comes to the fore, or someone with a romantic interest or an interest in connecting with you, working with you, you needing to take things a little bit slower this week. Some kind of a fated or destiny connection that comes in for you this week, and the need to yeah, close things off, like close things off. And it's not even necessarily the jump, because the Fool is in the not position, and I said it's not the time for you to start something new necessarily, number one, yet. This is just a quiet moment. But be willing to close things off. Take your time closing things off, finding closure to everything, to leaving the past, giving an appropriate burial, if you will. Okay, so that's your week ahead, number one. And let's dive into those of you that chose number two. Number two. Number two, what's coming up for you? Number two. Those that chose number two. Too many cards fell out, so I had to put them back in. Number two, please. Those that chose number two. And for those of you that chose number two, we've got, oh my gosh, what are the odds? We've got the Ten of Wands again. What are the odds? I can't, but this is what came out, so I'm going to stick with it. I'm feeling an ending to something that was a heavy burden for you. There's an ending to a heavy burden for you this week. It's kind of this energy is giving off this, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger vibe to me. But I'm feeling like you're coming out on the stronger end of things. So what is this week about? Strong decisions, making decisions that may be difficult for you to make. It's the personality or the energy of your personality that is demanded this week is the one that steps up to the plate, that looks at the truth, that is very serene, that is peaceful, that is balanced, that sees the truth, accepts the truth, decides upon the facts that are there. So a more analytical mindset is demanded of you this week. Please don't fly off the seat of your pants or do things too ad hoc. Your intuition is great, your instincts are great, absolutely. But now there's a balance demanded. Remember, the Queen of Swords represents Gemini, Libra, balance, and Aquarius. There's some kind of a balance that's demanded this week. So balance between your right and your left brain. Yeah, follow your heart, but don't leave your brain behind kind of situation. Okay. Then what's not is it's not a time for defensiveness. It's a time for reasonable explanations and clarity, but not defensiveness. Okay, this will get you nowhere. It's the Six of Swords energy. You're moving on to something new, a new chapter, a new venture, but also acquiring more knowledge, learning, diving into learning, learning new things, learning lots of things, and utilizing what you've learned to create something else. The Five of Cups has to do with disappointment. Now, by the end of the week, it could be that you're disappointed in something, that something lets you down, that something that you had hoped for, a hope that you held close to your chest, that it somehow lets you down. But the Four of Pentacles also reminds us to follow our principles, to stay true to our principles. It's also a card of loyalty. So it could be that during this week, you decide to move on from something, you take a cold, hard look at a situation and you evaluate, is it benefiting me? Am I benefiting it? Maybe it's time for us to go our separate ways. Maybe it's time for me to not do this anymore, or show up here anymore. Maybe it's time for this to end. And it's something that has caused a burden as well. So it could also be a responsibility that you had. Maybe you were volunteering for something. It doesn't even have to be that deep or wild. Maybe you were volunteering for something. You've realized, okay, this has come to an end now. But it could also be that deep and that wild. It just depends on you and your life path and your life story and what you're going through right now. But I do see an ending somewhat this week. It could also simply be a stance or an attitude or a perspective that you're ending, but you're coming into clarity. So you're not ending and moving into nothing. You're ending and moving into clarity. You're ending and moving into self-confidence. You're ending and moving into self-trust and self-value. You're ending defensiveness and allowing the flow of things because there's an end to feeling threatened. Yeah, because you make a clear decision, you see things clearly, and you just make your choice. I do feel that this is also a good thing, right? So it may be that you were holding on to something for too long or longer that you should have out of a sense of obligation and duty. That's what I'm picking up the strongest, number 2. And this is the week where things become clear to you that maybe that's not what I'm here for. Okay. All right, moving on to number 3. What's the energy around this week ahead for number 3, please? What's the energy around this week ahead for number 3? The energy around the week ahead for number 3. The energy around the week ahead for number 3. Those that choose number 3, we've got the overall energies for you. Number 3 is the Two of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. So this is amazing energy, having a greater outlook when it comes to work. Okay, having a better outlook when it comes to what it is that you do, what it is that you're here for, what it is that you're supposed to do. It's a week where you can shine with visions, where answers come easily to you. Write down your downloads, write down what you receive in way of inspiration or intuition. It's a very intuitive, inspirational week for you. I do see also a lot of connections with others, but you just really being in your element. So the first card that comes up for you is the Four of Wands. Speaking of being in your element, there's a sense of success, right? So your intuition, your inspiration, your vision is paying off this week. And it feels as if you're going to be able to make significant progress, significant steps forward on ideas that you've had, desires that you've had, on projects that you've begun. It's finally starting to move forward in the right direction. There's also a celebration of sorts, and I do see something romantic as well coming through for some of you this week. This week, it's not a time to go off on your own and do your own thing, to be too individualistic. We've got the Chariot here in the knot position, and we see that here with the Four of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. This is more of group energy, group effort. So it feels as if you're going to shine in the group. Two of Wands. People are going to look to you for solutions and outcomes. But it doesn't feel as if this is the week for you to take off on your own and do your own thing. Next up is the World card, High Life. And you've got the Queen of Wands as the outcome. So this is definitely a successful week for you, okay? Definitely a successful week. The advice card for you is the Three of Swords. And this usually has to do with clarification. It has to do with, and the clarification, the truth piercing the heart. So the heart may be, in its infancy stage, this delusional kind of stage, and then the swords of rationality pierce through the hope or the feeling. So there's a certainty that's gained or given in this situation. It does feel as if you overcome this though. Okay, this heartbreak, because that's what the Three of Swords can also represent, is heartbreak. And it does feel as if you overcome this disappointment and this heartbreak. This is a very successful week for you. Okay. Some of you, you're motivated by disappointment and heartbreak. You were disappointed before, you were heartbroken before, and now you're motivated by that emotion or that feeling to do better or push yourself beyond what you would usually do to gain success in a positive and a good way. This is an energy of growth. Okay, so it does feel as if it's a motivational week. You can utilize the disappointments as motivation, but it also feels as if this is a week where you receive information, you receive accolades, you receive some kind of acknowledgement, you receive some kind of offer as well, an offer coming to you. Could be a job offer, could be an offer of work, could be some kind of exchange or compensation idea that is coming towards you. Okay, I am picking that up. So also, some of you are super concerned about disappointing others, not showing up in the right way, or not following through, or not coming through on something, feeling like I'm not good enough. This unworthiness issue shows up for you, and it just feels as if you don't have to worry about that this week. That you can push aside, that you can really let go of. It's time to throw this old concept of yourself out the window and to accept yourself as this Queen of Wands type energy as she showed up. And the Two of Wands, utilize your vision, your intuition, your inspiration to carry you forward. Okay. Number 4, those of you that chose number 4, what's coming up for number 4, please? And this week ahead with the full moon in Scorpio. This week ahead with the full moon in Scorpio. Number 4. Already I'm feeling somewhat nostalgic, number 4. So some of you are looking back to the past, and it's almost as if a part of you is still in the past. You're still hanging there. And when you close your eyes, you can feel yourself still there, or that person still with you. So there's this releasing the past, processing the past, moving through the past kind of energy. Okay. So we've got here as an extra card the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands does have to do with celebration, has to do with enjoyment, connecting with others. Yeah, yeah, hanging out. That's the energy that I'm feeling. And what's on the Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, you've got the Ace of Pentacles and you've got the World, Alpha and Omega. Wow. Beginning and ending this week. So something might fly into your life and fly right back out again. But just because it leaves your life as quickly as it came into your life, it could be an opportunity. Doesn't mean it didn't do the work it was intended to do because it didn't stick around for a very long time. Sometimes we don't need things to be completely manifested hardcore from beginning to end for it to work on us and do its job and do what it came into our lives for. Sometimes it's just a brief flash. So there's a brief flash of an opportunity that I see coming in here this week for you, but it might fulfill itself just as quickly. This is also a week of searching for fulfillment for you. Number four, some of you may be feeling unfulfilled, and there's an opportunity that comes up that gives you a potential to find fulfillment or to feel fulfilled. You've got the Three of Pentacles, working with others. There's a lot about this energy of working with others and having your talents recognized and seen, and not a time to make willful decisions in that sense, or strong decisions, or be strict, or be super in your mind or analytical. That was for a different number. For you, you need to utilize your energies differently this week. You need to be in your emotional balance, 10 of Cups. Okay. You need to be emotionally balanced. And here we are with the Six of Cups as the outcome, looking to the past. Emotionally balancing the past is what's coming up for you this week. Okay. You may have at Seven of Swords missed some things. Some of you may be saying, Carlene, I've been doing that for years. I've been working on this and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know, but it seems as if something was missed. It could also be that you're missing someone. Okay. That's what I'm picking up for some of you is you're missing someone. You're missing something. There's a lot of looking back to the past, wishing to do things differently, but it is what it is now. It is what it is now. So for those of you that chose number four, this week is tinged with nostalgia, and it feels as if it's a week where you're focusing on your emotional equilibrium, on balancing your emotions. And so don't be too much in your mind and trying to find rhyme, reason, or connect the dots. It's not going to work. What's going on with you is outside of the mind. It's deep in your subconscious, it's in your emotional body, and all you can do is ride the waves of these emotional ups and downs. And I'm not saying it's a moody week, I'm saying it's a balancing week for you, which may express itself as feeling some days really good and other days, again, you're locked in nostalgia and looking to the past. So the past hasn't let you fully go, though. I have to say that as well. That's what I'm picking up, is that some of you, you're not out of your mind. The past hasn't released you yet either. The past hasn't let go yet either, and continues to think of you, wonder about you, try to energetically connect to you, all the while staying blocked in real life and acting like, no, you know? So, but you're not out of your mind, and there are ways you can do some cord cutting ceremonies this week with the full moon in Scorpio. That will absolutely work for you. That would be a fantastic time for you to replenish your energy, cleanse your aura field, cut everything that needs to cut, and show the universe you're willing to let go. And the universe will help you let go and help you move forward in something that is more right for you. So that was your week ahead, and I hope you enjoyed that. Don't hesitate to reach out, connect with me. You can always book your session, your personal session, where we dive deeper into what's going on with you in the description box below this video. And I look forward to seeing you on my next videos. Take care, and don't forget my other social media platforms of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Bye.